I'm Edie Lush, and I'm here at Hub Culture at Transition Forum in Monaco. We've stepped outside now with William Kwende. Thanks for joining me out here.
Thanks, Edie. Thanks for having me.
So the founder and chair of Agritech, and I spoke to you last year, and since then, since our conversation, some great things have happened.
Yes.
You're now working with, you've got some partnerships with the World Bank, African Development Bank. Who else? What else has happened?
AECF, which is an organization that funds projects for women. The government of Burkina Faso, of course. We have the other governments in the region wanting to replicate the project. And more partnership coming in the industry. We have talked to a lot of companies, clients, future clients in the industry. They are excited to finally having a product that has that is meeting the zero deforestation and zero carbon pledge together.
So you mentioned zero carbon, you mentioned deforestation. In fact, this bottle addresses at least 5 sustainable development goals, right? So it's about climate change, about educating women and girls, it's about financial inclusion, health. What else?
Water.
Water.
Yeah, we're using less water. So I think that's about it.
Okay.
We could extend to others. Because once you start with financial inclusion, you make a lot of things possible.
Yeah. So I'm going to try some on, and you're going to tell me about how something like shea butter can help address deforestation, education. Tell me about the sort of journey and what the women who are involved in doing gain from it.
Exactly. Shea butter basically is called women gold in Africa, as you know, right? So rural women work in association in groups, and they collect the shea and they process it into shea butter. The problem is that processing requires energy, and there's no energy distribution in most of sub-Saharan Africa, and therefore they have to use wood. In fact, wood is used for 70-80% of the country's energy needs. The problem is that when you have resources like shea, which cover 1.5 million households in one country, with a production of 400,000 tons, you start having a big problem with the forest, because the forest is being cut, including the shea trees, in order to produce the shea butter. So this is exactly what we're trying to improve, to change. And with the support of the African Development Bank and the World Bank, with a significant grant, we have developed a new platform, which we are building now. Near Ouagadougou, a prototype, where we are producing the zero deforestation and the zero carbon emission shea.
And this is important because about half of Burkina Faso is affected by desertification, is that right?
Very much.
So in fact, this is combating one of the biggest problems that's affecting the Sahel and the people who live there.
Absolutely, because cutting wood for domestic needs or for industrial needs is basically accelerating desertification. So what we're doing now is basically not only stopping a lot of the deforestation, but we're also replanting with the project. So we create the platform in the rural areas, and we teach the women how to use it. So it's not like we're buying anything from them.
Right.
They're learning how to use this platform, which is very similar to what they're doing, but more automated. For example, they don't have to go and carry wood, they don't have to go and carry water. And they can, after they have processed, of course the value jumps. Right? And then we can buy it from them, or they can sell it to wherever they want to sell it. So this is how we create wealth. So there's a
And then what do they do as a result of that extra wealth, she says, while she puts on a little bit more shea butter?
they go to the shopping mall. Just kidding. The income from the women in the rural area is used a lot for education and for health needs, right? So they are investing into that, right? Which is important, because then you can have health structure which are viable because they have customers, and there goes the development, right, by itself.
And you've made the women shareholders in this company as well, so that they have a share in making success continue.
Absolutely, absolutely. Of course, after they process whatever we buy from them, we export. You know, and during that process, we also make money.
Right.
Because shea is used in chocolate, as you know, 80% of the production is used in chocolate. We make extra money, and for example, in that cosmetic company, we also make added value. So all that added value we share with them in proportion of what they have contributed in terms of shea volume.
And you're now moving into mangoes.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yes, shea is seasonal, right? So we're putting a capital investment in a platform for them. Shea is basically produced over 4 years. The trees produce 4 years for 4 months per year, sorry, and the rest of the time, the platform may sit idle, right? So we look at the other crops that we could use, and we notice that 90% of the mangoes are lost. You know, there are a lot of mango trees. You know, they produce a lot. People eat what they can eat. They sell what they can sell. But again, after 3-4 months of mango season, everything's lost.
Right.
So we said, okay, for the shea now, we're going to process also the shea meat, so they can dry it and sell it as dry fruit. The dry fruit industry, you know, with the new vegetarian movements and more environmental, vegan, you know, it's very sought for. So, and the same platform, when the shea season is over, they can process the mango, so slice them into pieces and then dry them using the same infrastructure. And as you know, the value of dry mangoes is very high.
Yeah, at Pret a Manger in London, you buy a pack and it sets you back quite a few pounds.
Exactly.
And did you bring any mangoes to try?
No, because this is the seasons. Everybody they ate everything. But I'll send you some. I'll send you some.
Thank you, William Kwende. Thank you very much for stopping by Hub Culture here at Transition Forum in Monaco. And I'm Edie Lush.